Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Dawn Chorus. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io, but if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $3 a month. So, on the last Let's Play, we hung out with Mikko, Travis, and Bjorn. Travis was like, hey, I get to go to Japan, yay me. But then Bjorn got a notification on his phone, which we found out later was, he got a notification that he failed an exam, I guess? And he was worried about his future, and we're like, well, that's probably one thing, saying that the future that your parents kind of set out for you probably isn't the one, isn't the right one, and you should go for what you're interested in, which is writing. And then also we're worried about, our talk with Mikko on the hill. I can't remember talking that we said we would talk on the hill, but basically we're gonna tell him about a bunch of stuff, that we kind of ghosted him because we had feelings for him and weren't sure how to deal with it. Anyways, reset my face and begin. All the furniture in the cafeteria got rearranged for the film. The tables are lined up at the walls, our food waiting on one of them. Mikko is already there when I enter, sitting on one of the blankets strewn across the floor, among other students, pairs and groups and lone figures. I stop in my tracks. How delicate and gentle he looks, paws folded on his legs, his eyes cast downwards, like a piece of paper bending in the wind almost. An urge to protect him rises in me, but against what? I hurt him myself in the past. Yeah, I do it like that. I flinch, something clicking inside my head, but I shake off the unpleasant thought and sit down quickly next to the Woof, gently tapping his shoulder to get his attention when he doesn't react. Dark. Hey, have you eaten already? Oh no, I was waiting for you. I grab us 2 plates, then... Wait, grab us 2 plates then. Wait, I'll grab us 2 plates then. I shoot him a smile, get up, and walk away to the table to get with the food, maneuvering between students, bumping into Coach Devin in the way. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. That was my fault. I was trying to get something to eat. Coach is rather easy to notice, that's for sure, but I was busy trying not to step on anyone, and didn't look ahead. Are you staying for the film? Yeah. I'm with Mikko sitting there, and grabbing some food first. I point towards the Woof, 2 long ears standing tall among the other heads. By the way, do you know what film we're watching? Oh yes, it's Mr. No One. Have you heard of it? Okay, so what's that supposed to be? Mr. Someone? Man with no name? I don't know. Mr. No One. No, nothing comes to mind, fittingly. I haven't, no. Rune recommended it to me, so I thought it would be a good fit. It has Jared Baleto in it too. Professor Arnie wanted to play a cosmogeny documentary, space documentary, but I convinced him that with the lectures in the morning, that's enough knowledge for one day, and you could do some entertainment. Have you seen Rune, by the way? I thought he'd come for the film, but he's not here yet, and we're starting soon. No, unfortunately, sorry. Yeah, I know exactly where he is. He's in his room, and he's in emotional pain because he learned from Travis that the results are out, and he got rejected. Sad. That's alright. I can't leave the cafeteria for now, but I'll drop him a message. 2 plates in my paw, and 2 glass bottles of water in the other. I come back to Mikko sitting down in front of him. How does he do that? How do you... I don't know. Maybe he's just that skilled. Here you are. Thank you. By the way, I met Coach. Asked him about the film. He said we're watching Mr. No One. What? Really? Why? Have you seen it? Yeah, it's quite good. Why the disbelief then? I was just surprised. It's not very new or a classic, and not really well known. And it's a French film, quite long and quite slow. I glance around the room quickly, looking for Bjorn, but I can't find him. The supper looks nice, by the way. But now that he mentions it, he's right. We have sandwiches again: beetroot, horseradish, rocket on rye bread, and rocket. Plus a small slice of a pie with what looks like cashew cream. Ooh, I can't wait for pumpkin pie tomorrow because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I like the food, not so much the history. I remember history classes. Or, quote, history classes. Anyways, yeah, I could get used to it. I always wanted to try making this sort of cake. Maybe I could try it once we're back. I want a slice, though. If you invite me to your dorm, then I can bring some. Deal. Coach Devin turns off the light and walks away to the laptop, standing next to the projector, turning on the film. Still munching on my second sandwich, I press my side to Mikko's, like I used to, out of sheer habit, before I even register what I'm doing. Oh, sorry. That's fine. You can stay like that. Thank you. Paths diverting and convoluting. Lives lived and lost, time wasted, never to be recovered. But it's also sweet nevertheless. Days spent under the sun. Beautiful in their scarcity. Delicious in their aimlessness. Sacred in their leisure. Scared? Scared. I can read. You think of those of the days that are now way behind you, almost past the horizon, sun-drenched and merry. How do you remember them? Can you recall them at all? The warmth of your parents, your favorite blanket, the breakfast your father prepared each Sunday morning, or perhaps that one dish your mother used to make that you hated with every ounce of your being. The color of drapes in your room, your feverish heat when you laid in bed, sick, cared for, with a cold, worried paw on your forehead. The friends you used to see almost every day, running around and playing without a care in the world, whispering each other's secrets in the shade under the trees in the local park, mostly about who actually saw a boob, or what's the most slanderous or worst swear word you know, like bottom. If you opened the family album and looked at the photos, you'd recognize those things. Wait, would you recognize those things? Would they look the same as in your memories? Or would you be glancing into an uncanny world that doesn't feel like yours? It's a tragedy, growing up, no matter how you look at it. But we can't stay free of care and burden forever, can we? When we're born to grow up, no matter how we struggle against our own bodies. The changes are slow but inevitable. Unless you take care of yourself, in which case you're like me in my mid-30s and feel like you're a teenager. Even the libido sometimes. I mean, it's not as bad as when I was a teenager, thank goodness. Because I wouldn't get anything done. I mean, granted, I had porn. So I wouldn't have to... Because if I didn't have that, then like, if I was a normal person, I probably would have gotten a couple people pregnant. Because it was so bad. I mean, it's like a pain in the ass these days, but still, it's better. Anyways, the sweetness of innocence is gone before we can truly appreciate it. It do be like that, I guess. But the seed remains inside of us. Under layers and layers of people we shape ourselves to be. Under the armor and the gashes. And there's still that same kindling. And maybe, if we tried hard enough, we could spark it again. The world is a confusing place. Why do we grow up? We grow up because we get hurt, and we learn to hurt. We learn to control ourselves. We learn to empathize. We learn to cope with pain. We learn to deal pain too, subtly or brutally, with precision or in rage. And then we're adolescents, ready to face the harsh reality. Adolescence. Paths diverging and convoluting. Lives lived and lost. Time wasted, never to be recovered. And you? Would you rather hurt or be hurt? Probably be hurt, because I feel like this stuff is stuff that I remember years onwards. Like, remember when I said that mean things to that one person? Decades on, while hurt, it tends to be something that is more subtly underneath myself, and then causes me to drink, or something like that. Remember, kids don't drink. Yeah, let's say be hurt. The lights, cold steel, gentle wind, the sound of rolling back. Sweet, sweet memories of the future. Ground deep beneath their feet. Credits. They blink. Then again, eyes readjusting to the darkness of the room. But my mind is elsewhere still. Something shifts next to me. It's Mikko. I've forgotten about him completely. Heh. I don't reply. My mind drawing a blank. That was something. What do you think? I liked it. It hit too close to home for me, maybe. Oh, no wait, oh? I was thinking about some sort of stuff myself today. Choices and paths. Can we get out of here? It's so stuffy, and I can't think. Sure, let me put on my jacket. A chill wind ruffles my fur. Cold air snapping me back to reality from the film-induced haze. It's beautiful outside. The hills, the forests, the birds circling above, the snow covering everything in sight. I love the Norwegian landscape. I'm so glad to be here. Happiness growing in my chest, and my lungs filled with cool air. Remember the train tracks near the old sawmill? Oh, of course. Do you remember that one time we went down the path, both bridges, and found an empty grain silo? I think I do. I'm not sure why I remember them now, but it came back to me almost like a vision. I grabbed a thread, and the whole scene appeared before my eyes. That was the last year of middle school, wasn't it? And you had a pack of salmaki with you. I brought a whole bar of chocolate, but no water. We had to wash our paws in the lake. Yeah, I miss these days. That's why I felt like having some chocolate today. It was a nice day, especially. Yeah. Wasn't there where I showed you Boars of Ganda? No, that was way earlier. But you played some of their music there. Yeah, I remember. You said it fit the scenery. It did, very well. Oh, that was long ago. Feels like another lifetime. Quite. The memories are vivid when I focus on them, but oddly, they don't seem to concern me. It feels like it all happened to somebody else, another person that I share memories with. Like another lifetime. Would you mind a little walk? I'd like to look at the sea. There's a nice view from one of the hills. Sure, I'd love to stretch my paws a bit. We leave the terrace and sit down in the snow, by now already compressed, with prints all over the circle around the guest house, hooves, paws, and shoes, some trailing off into the forest, disappearing beneath the trees. Where we're heading, there are none. Mikko pushes ahead through the fresh snow, soft and crunchy under her paws, keeping silent. You know, it never occurred to me back when we were living. I thought we were just getting ready for life. And let these years pass in the blink of an eye. Game, don't do this to me. Days spent running around, thinking it was just a play. Talking so openly with Mikko again, it feels freeing, almost like breathing free. Breaking free of some shackles of social etiquette and our own awkwardness. It makes you want to jump into the snow and roll around, looking at the sky. I don't know if you remember it, but back then, on the train tracks, we're talking about our future. What university and course we choose, what we do. It had... Memories, sorry. It had to be not long before exams in middle school. I doubt we'd be thinking of it otherwise. 2 months before them. Right, Mikko was always better at chronology than me. He'd often correct me, and when we'd check, he always turned out to be right. Funny how we ended up in completely different fields than we thought we would. Though you moved out, just as you wanted. Yeah. And I thought you'd stay. You never said anything about moving out. I moved out to Helsinki for high school already. Moving out further wasn't such great of a change. Helsinki? Why the move? And why so far away? I don't think I asked before. I didn't want to go to the same high school. I didn't have too many friends, remember? Do I? Not really. The end of middle school seemed like a blur. I thought the new start there would do me good, and, well, it did. I'm happy I moved out. You didn't have many friends? What about Leslie, Nico, Dimitri, Gionines? Also, is that a thing that people in, like, not Norway, but Finland, I think these guys are from? Is that what they do? They move out for high school? Because, like, do they live by themselves in high school? You tell me. They were your friends, mostly. But we all stuck together, didn't we? At least until I told them not to. I stopped my tracks, memories coming back to me. But I don't want them. They're painful and confused. I don't understand their meaning. I shake them off. So, how was it? Good. Scary at first. Suddenly find myself living alone in a city this big. But I made new friends quickly. Then I found a job at the music store, and met people working on a game, and looking for a composer. Though that was online, I couldn't complain. But now you're here. Yeah, I went to study marine mammals, and in Norway, it's just much easier. I mean, we actually have orcas, not that far from the coast in Onslow. Did you know? I didn't. I looked at sons for a while before I asked again, why marine mammals? I don't remember you being fascinated with them. It came later, when I was living out in a dorm and needed a bit of escapism. Around that time, I started making music too. I like making bubbly sounds. Songs that would make you feel like you were underwater. That was my original motivation. I liked music before, but didn't think much about trying my paws at it. I see. I wish I was an orca. Really? An orca? Yeah. They're apex predators. No one picks on them. They're strong and resilient, and so cool. And they have no obligations, no complicated past. Even though they are intelligent, possibly as intelligent as we are, free of shackles of culture, they swim where they want, do what they want. And are they now? You'd be surprised. They not only understand words, they grasp the syntax of languages. They're terrific learners, and in captivity, they're absolutely miserable. Silence falls between us once again. You ask me, what do I think of the film? I liked it. I understand it better now. I generally understand things much better now. Time creates distance necessary to see things from the outside, and experience provides tools to do it. So, you see it differently than the first time you've seen it? Yeah. Now I saw myself in it. When I looked past this story, I understood what it was trying to tell us. We always make choices. Even abstaining from a choice is a choice in itself. But even so, the outcomes aren't determined by us. All choices are equal, because we never know where they might get us. So, they're shaping our lives, but they don't push us behind the steering wheel. We can't be in control of everything. So, I'm thinking it's better to let go sometimes. Give up on something we were pursuing. Just accept that it's beyond our reach. Or accepting that something that we wanted turned out to be awful for us. Mikko stops. Before us is an opening in the trees, a clearing bathed in silvery moonlight, snow shining almost like diamond dust, countless tiny ice shards. Innumerable paths. There's only one past, but an infinite number of possible futures. Nothing is absolute. All choices are valid. But the consequences of them never go away, and with each, the future gets a tad narrower. I'll never be a pianist anymore, even if I'd like to be. I mean, you're in high school. You're in college. Could be able to do it. The scar on my arm from the bike accident will never go away. I can't go back in time and not hurt Mikko. I wanted to write him a letter. Sometime in the past, in the first class of high school, I had it on top of the to-do list on my phone for several months. I even started writing once, took out a pen and paper, but I couldn't find any words to say sorry. And then I forgot about it. And I forgot what I should apologize for, because it was easier that way. A lonely light travels across the sky. A space station, maybe? Living there must be lonely, with only vast space around. But are we a bit like the space station too? Even surrounded with people, we still put so many walls between us. So much empty space, unsaid words, intentions hidden, secrets concealed, distance imposed. And still, I aim for the impossible, a true connection. So, I guess what I'm getting at was that I started wondering where we'd be if I made different choices. What other possible versions of us were out there? What lives we could have had if I didn't run away? I stop, and Mikko does too, a few steps ahead of me. He's near motionless, but there's a cloud of vapor condensing in a cold air floating to the ground as he sighs deeply. The moment stretches into forever. I can't take the words back. Now we have to see through the end. Time is frozen. Mikko stands still, his back turned to me. What might he be feeling? Is it rage bullying inside him that he's trying to contain? The moon emerges from the clouds, bright in the night sky, illuminating the meadow. When I look at it, its surface seems to flicker slightly. I'm sorry. Silence. The word hangs between us like a vacuum, and I don't know what to follow it with. This is how I feel. I'm truly sorry, but it all weighs on me like a terrible stone, crushing my chest, and I wait for any reaction, as much as a look from Mikko. But he stands with his back to me. What for? I know I have to say it, but my throat feels so tight. I can't say anything. What did I do to deserve it? He turns back and faces me. I expect to see rage in his eyes, but they're pleading, a deep shade of sadness gleaming in them. I thought I'd changed through the years, that I left things behind me, but now, here with you, I'm the same person I was back then, a year ago. So much is coming back to me, and it's confusing. And the worst part is that it's only the good things. Our trips, our walks, the evenings I spent at your place. I remember how happy we were together. And there's a stupid hope in me that we could just forget everything and go back to being like that. I hold it too. No, I still hold it too. Maybe stupidly. But what else do I have? I don't want to lose them again. I should be mad. I have every reason to. But I'm not, even though I want to be. Because, back with you, I still feel that everything could be alright. I feel defeated. Mikko. Every word hurts, because I know it's true. I know he's holding back. He could bare his fangs and take a lunge at me, but instead, he's standing in front of me, half trembling, searching for answers. He should be mad. I want him to be mad at me. Can you say something? I'm sorry. I really am. Damn it, when emotions happen. I don't know how I could have acted like that. I look back in time and I don't recognize myself. I'm ashamed of myself. You have no idea how much. I don't know what I could do to make amends with you, ever. You could start with telling me why. Why did you stop talking to me? And then, why did your friends follow? But this will be the hardest thing I've done my whole life. How do I tell him that I loved him? Him, the closest friend I ever had. How did that song go? If you find your sweetheart in the arms of a friend, that's when your heartache began? Not what they meant probably, but it's just as true. You have no idea how much it hurt me, losing you. I understood how much myself a year ago in Helsinki. I was at work, sorting new arrivals into categories, when I noticed a tiger standing in the aisle away, and I thought it was you. He had the same ears, same style. They're looking at the indie rock section. Then my heart fluttered, and without thinking, I came up to them. All I felt was joy, almost lifting my paws from the floor. I felt like I was gliding. Only I noticed it wasn't you. It hurts to hear. I'd rather have him angry at me than listen to how much he was hurting because of me. All while I wasn't thinking about him at all. What kind of friend was I really? How selfish I was in all of this. I thought of only my pain, of how never how Mikko must have felt in all this. But why? How could I have been so self-focused? Am I still like that? Before that, I thought I got over you, but I didn't. When I met you here, at the university, I had more control over myself. I thought at first that I could keep you at a relative distance, and you could just stay friends, and maybe meet up sometimes. I thought it'd be better to conceal any feelings I've had, and just try to keep some minimal contact. But then we both got into science club, and I was seeing you more often. I panicked when I found out about the camp and heard that you were going. But then I thought, I can't run away my whole life. I have to confront you somehow. or at least find a way to let go. I want to see how you changed. I thought that if we got a room together, I'd get to spend some time with you, and the feelings would just pass, and we could part our ways in peace. But you wanted your own room, and I thought that maybe it was stupid. Maybe it was stupid. Maybe you didn't even want to hang out with me, and I should give up. And then you sat next to me on the bus and started talking, as if our old friendship had just resumed. 2 days went by, and you stayed over at my room. And what I felt for you only resurfaced and deepened. So I guess I'm sorry too. Things went in a different direction than I wanted. Dark, I loved you. I think I still do. Being apart was so hard for me, and now being together is even harder. He loves me. The words, sounding utterly impossible, echo in my head. Back then, there was nothing else I'd rather hear. It would be the happiest person in the world. Now, despite everything, he still does? What place to hear it? On a meadow, bathed in moonlight, snow-covered, trees as our audience. Mikko. Mikko. Didn't I know? It doesn't change much, I suppose. It changes so much. Fucking hell. How could I have been so blind? I've hurt you, and myself. All for no reason. When you started making plans for the future, I started to feel like you're getting further away from me. Suddenly, there was this distance between us, and I thought you're putting it there because you felt I was getting too close. It was middle school, for fuck's sakes. I wasn't thinking about it seriously. I put some more distance between us because I didn't know how to approach this. I had to take a step back and examine my feelings. It was a first for me. You had no idea how nervous I was. I had a crush on you. You can't imagine how great. It was like a fever almost. I thought you saw that and started to put more distance between us. I bare myself before Mikko, just as well as if I would be stripped naked. No, just as well as if I would be stripped naked. I want him to see me, finally, without secrets, without lies, without anything left unsaid. I accepted that it would hurt you if I brought it up, and I tried to stay away from you. It was hard, like you can't imagine, the hardest thing I've done in my life. But I was sure I had to. Mikko, I loved you too. I dreamt of spending the rest of my days with you. I almost shout into the cold space between us. It's like I'm in a trance, words escaping me by themselves. Before I think, I need to get it all out myself. But I said it, finally. So, where's the relief I thought would come? What do you mean? I mean what I said. I loved you. Do you feel the same way towards me now? Do I? I feel Bjorn's paw on my shoulder again, wishing me good luck. What's inside my heart? Dark, do you? Well, you have to pick the right one. First one? My throat feels so tight again. I can't get any sound out. The scenes from the last year together flash before my eyes, and I think of how I hurt him. I don't want to hurt him ever again, and I'm not sure of my feelings. It's all moving forward so fast. Mikko's expectant face looks at mine with hope. The whole future within him lies open before me. I only have to make a step and close the gap between us. But I'm paralyzed. I can't do anything. Stand at the crossroad. I'm confronted with a decision I can't make. So I stand, rooted to the spot. I'm not ready. I have no answer to offer him. You've wasted my time. I have wasted my time trying to get back with you. He turns back and walks away. A single tear streams down my cheek, salty and warm. It was so peaceful down there. I'll never grow tired of it. If I could, I'd spend the rest of my time here, glued to the window, looking at the earth down below. No one else in the world has this view. This alone makes being here worth it. Here, above Norway now, the fjords are hidden in the clouds, but there are spots on the coast and mountains are visible. There's almost no settlements, just a bigger town sitting on an island. It's hard to believe anything could be happening there at all with how still it seems. Staring out the window, I feel close to some epiphany, a thought making form and taking form. I want to reach out and touch those mountaintops covered in snow. They seem so close. They seem to speak to me about how it's so absurd to hold grudges, to hold on to our pride, to draw lines in the world like this, so tiny and endlessly beautiful. But we fly past the land and drift above the open sea now, and the thought disappears. It's time for some food. I push myself away from the window and head to the fridge. I don't know how long this is, and we're a bit over time. Give me a hot second. As Aura set my face too. Yeah, the problem is I don't know how long these are. I guess we'll keep going. Love is hard. Love is a struggle. Love is joy too. Good moments I've had with Mikko. They're the best moments of my life. No, despite the pain, even if nothing could work out between us, I don't regret falling in love with him. Why couldn't I find the words inside me to say to him now? Paths diverging and that word. Lives lived and lost, time wasted, never recovered. It's all so sweet, nevertheless. Days spent under the sun. The world is a confusing place. We barely know what do we want, but when we finally get it, it often turns out to be much different than we thought. Often, our own choices hurt us, more than anyone else could. We try, again and again, to reach the place we see ourselves in, to bridge the gap between who we are and who we imagine we could be and what we could have. Perhaps that's what makes us people, the yearning to be the person we imagine ourselves to be, and the torment of incompleteness. But it's an illusion. Can we never be that person? When we reach the peak of that mountain, another higher one looms in the distance. We struggle for the life we wished we had never ends. But how far you've come. You should be proud of yourself. There's so much ahead of you still, a sea of possibilities. But not of who you should be, of who you can become. But if you could go back and experience it again, would you? Yeah. The lights, cold steel, gentle wind of Hmm? I think that might be a good time to call it. Because it might be just like any other one of these things. Damn it, I saw Mikko there and I was like, click. Yeah, well, I'm probably gonna have to redo that stuff too. Just gonna have to find out who I overwrit. Well, anyways, end of this Let's Play, so comment, cause I like comments, sometimes you like, dislike, tips, or otherwise. If you like me, YouTube, and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to help it grow, and please remember to spay near animals to help control the pit population. I did kind of have an emotional breakdown there. And it's all the same answer right there. Because I have emotional burdens that I don't take care of, and a life, just kind of stuff. Yeah, it's probably gonna give me a good little bit of time to figure out who I accidentally overwrit. It's not Jorgen, it's not Toruf, it's not Sagat, it's not, was that Bjorn? Is that everybody? So it could be Jorgen, Mikko, Lake, Jorgen, yeah. No, wait, that's Jorgen. Who would be the next person to get? Oh, the coach, probably? Yeah, probably. I think that was the next one. So we're gonna have to do that. And maybe I'll see what he looks like in his... the route where I don't smell him. Ooh, ooh. Anyways, until next time. Oh yeah, if you want to play this game, itch.io for free, Patreon for $3, link, subscribe, Spain your animals, and until next time. Me, GamerWolfSix, Dawn, of course. I mean, I'm glad I feel these feelings with God. It is kind of a pain in the ass to be in the middle of one of these things and be like, I'm emotionally damaged. Sadness. Anyways, thanks and see ya.